Money, money, money. I know Kyle doesn't like to talk about money, but we're talking about it. Captain America, Brave New World, its early projections for opening weekend have just hit. It's looking at about 86 to 95 million for an opening weekend, which is good. If I am correct, I believe that ties it up with The Winter Soldier, which went on to make $714 million at the box office. Now, even if Brave New World hits that 95 million, I don't think it will go on to make $714 million at the box office. It just depends on how good it is, really. But look, so here's the history of Captain America opening weekends. We got the first Avenger with 65 million. We got Winter Soldier with 95 million. And then we got Civil War with $179 million opening weekend. Now, Civil War gets a little bit of a boost because, yes, it's not an Avengers film, and I definitely see it as a Captain America film, but that was definitely marketed as an Avengers movie, Captain America Civil War. So that's why I think that gets a little bit of a bump. But it's got Iron Man in it and everything, so yeah. So this could definitely land at the top end of like solo Captain America movies with 95 million. It's looking at a domestic box office run of about 280, it's saying. So that's actually that's in line with Winter Soldier, which made about 260 domestically. So you never know. And then obviously there's the worldwide, but all I want to say is no matter how much money this film makes, I think Marvel already know going into this that they're probably going to lose money on this. Because it's got a ballooned up budget of like 100. This has got a budget of 110 million more than Civil War. I just look at all the A-list actors they had to pay for Civil War to get them in there. So, yeah, this has definitely got to do with the reworking and stuff like that. I think they know that if they're lucky, they will break even with Captain America Brave New World. But Kyle, what do you think? If it hits that high end of 95 and if it can keep that same energy going through, it might do as well as Winter Soldier.
I think you got to give it a bit more faith in this, and I know you do because I know you want this to do well, especially with
I want
it
this to be the
being
biggest film of the
so.
year. That's what I want.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just
And
know it won't be.
I feel like Thunderbolts is probably going to take that. But, I mean, we don't know. The thing is, if this film turns out to be fucking amazing and people say, like, it's not, it doesn't have to be the same style of film as Winter Soldier or anything like that,
Yeah.
but it's as good as that, or it does something unique with its plot or its things like that. There's probably a couple of surprises in there. Obviously, we know the Red Hulk's going to be there, but I can imagine there's some other little bits in there too, and it's the first step of Marvel Studios redeeming themselves, and they need to get this right, because if this doesn't hit and the critic reviews are not good, are kind of mediocre or anything like that, then it's going to struggle, and that's where it comes in. I think good word of mouth, it gets good reviews, solid reviews, it's going to make a lot more than we think. The only thing that's holding it back is unfortunately, if the reviews come in and we hear, yeah, it's alright, but it's not that great, then that's where the film will struggle. People are still wanting comic book films. We have always wanted comic book films. And, despite Marvel Studios, of course, having a bit of a moment there recently, it still goes to show that people are still into comic book films. You got Deadpool and Wolverine doing absolutely fantastic at the box office, cracking $1 billion. This won't crack $1 billion, despite if it gets good reviews or not. I just think it will still do fairly well, and I think it's more of, will this do better than Thunderbolts? I think that's another interesting question to ask, and I think we'll talk about that next time as we get closer to the Thunderbolts releasing. So yeah, that's where I stand on it. I'm not normally the numbers guy, but that's where I'm at with it. The reviews will make it. Okay.
All right. So, I think Marvel putting the money into this more to redo the whole film. I think they came out with a realization of, we would rather put the money into this to make it a better film and have it lose money, because in the long run, if this film's well received, let's say as good as a Captain America the First Avenger, as good as a Thor, the original Thor, as good as like an Ant-Man, as good as like, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of like just solid Marvel films, you know what I mean? Like, not,
I know what you mean.
if it's received as well as them, then them losing $100 million on this, box office wise, still makes them more money when it comes to the future. So if they take a hit now, but don't damage the brand, guess what? Come Thunderbolts, people would have seen Brave New World on like streaming and stuff like that and gone, do you know what? That Captain America film were really good. Let's go see that other film with the Winter Soldier in it and the guy with the shield.
Can I just butt in there and say,
You
like,
put
I
your hand up.
completely agree. I don't care. That is a very good point. It's got, if it doesn't do well in the box office, and I was kind of disagreeing with you a little bit when you first started using that as a point of like, if they lose money on this, which I hope they don't, I still want this to do well. That's if it's good and if it's deserving of it.
Yeah.
That if this doesn't do well, at least if they can redeem themselves in the quality aspect, then going forward it will benefit them. But I would disagree with that, because you've got the fact of the internet, and if the big thing that people will see, moreover it being a fantastic film, is that this film did bad at the box office, which makes people automatically think, oh, this isn't a great film, I'm not going to bother seeing this because it did terrible the box office cinemas. But then you mention Disney Plus, and it's going to be on there, and it'll give everybody an opportunity to give it a go. So if it wasn't for Disney Plus, then I disagree with what you're saying, but because we have Disney Plus, I agree completely.
Look, Disney's got money, Marvel's got money, right? I think they would much rather, at this moment, have a critical hit than a financial hit. And look, they're rolling around in all that Deadpool and Wolverine money they've made. They know. You
meant the other way around, didn't you?
What?
Take a critical hit instead of financial. No, they'd want to take a financial hit.
Oh yeah, they'd rather take a financial hit instead of a critical hit.
Yeah, you just said it the wrong way around. That's all.
No. They would rather have it be a hit with the critics, so they'd rather have a critical hit.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like, I thought you meant hit as in like a bad thing. No. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, it's because your dad used to beat you. Anyway,
right, cage. I'm gonna fucking big you up then and say, oh, because you're a cage fighter and you. Well, fuck you.
One time.
Not really a fight, mate. I'm more like two sausage rolls rolling around in a box.
Oh, right. He didn't want to fight. All right, he just wanted to lay there. And if he spoke to me later, then maybe we could have arranged that. But anyway. So yeah, but no, I do think Marvel would rather have a good critical reception and have this, because look at something like Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy. Both very well critically received. Guardians of the Galaxy made more money, right? But I would say the Winter Soldier's a better. Well, of course, I would say the Winter Soldier's a better film than Guardians of the Galaxy. But look at who got all the opportunities after that year. The Russos. All right, they're gonna do Captain America 3. Then just before they start shooting on Captain America 3, when we find out it's gonna be Civil War, it's like, oh, they're also going to be doing Avengers 3 and 4. It's like, oh, shit. And now, they're going to be doing Avengers 5 and 6. So, Yeah. I think Marvel's priority right now is this needs to be well received. And if it is, that's great. I'm hoping it is. It's just, I feel like I play it down when it comes to Captain America, Brave New World, because, you know, I want this film to be amazing. I want this film to make money. I want this film to be as good as The Winter Soldier. You know, Steve Rogers, Captain America, and tied with Daredevil are my favourite Marvel characters. But I've always been a big fan of Sam as Captain America. I know he can do it. And I just feel like I need to play it down because I don't want to be disappointed. You know what I mean? I'm playing it down so I'm not, like, disappointed. But, yeah. Anyway.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being excited for it.
Yeah, it's just we're on a public platform now, so, you know, people come back and rub it in our faces when we're so wrong about something.
Yeah, well, I mean, fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em.
Okay.
But yeah, no, look, it's tracking for a great opening weekend, and if it can keep that momentum, if it can get good critic scores, then that's good. And, you know, maybe people are interested in this because me and Kyle have got a middle-aged man that we take to the cinema with us. He's our mate. And usually he doesn't ring me to go see when we're going. He just assumes we're going, and he knows. Yeah, they've got me a ticket, right, I'm going with them. He actually rang me today, and he was like, are we definitely going to see Captain America? And this is someone a year ago was like, no, he's not Captain America. No, Chris Evans is Captain America. He's not Captain America. To being, we showed him that trailer, and he was like, oh, okay. So, maybe people do want to see this. And that $95 million opening weekend is a pretty good start. So anyway, I think that'll do us for today, Kyle. Anything else you want to add?
Never do.
Never do. He never wants to add anything at all. Do you want to tell people where you got your headphones from?
No.
Argos.
Alright.
What about your cabinet? Where'd you get your cabinet from?
Which one?
No, they're my cabinets.
Well, then you know where they came from.
IKEA.
The wonderful everyday.
Right, guys, remember, BBD, bring back the Detolf, that's what we want. We don't want these shitty Balladins or whatever they are. We want the Detolfs back because they're better. So everybody go and send hate mail to IKEA, and we will see you
No,
in the next episode.
Do not do that. We do not endorse that.
Yeah, tell the higher ups at IKEA that you're not happy and you want the Detolfs back. Tell them Beyond Movies sent you, and they need some place to put the hot toys.